I'm going to tell you this right now. Are you ready? Democrats forever. Democrats forever is the name of the game. You want to know why? Because there's no crime problem. When you have Democrats in charge, there is no crime problem. You ask them, hey, what about the crime problem? They go, there is no crime problem. And then you say, well, here's examples of crime problem. They go, Republicans did it. No crime problem. And if there is, Republicans did it. Also, the border is secure. When Democrats are in charge, the border is secure. When you point out how many millions of people are crossing, you say, but yeah, we're catching just as many as before. It is secure. I know there's a whole percentage thing in statistics. There's always lies, damn lies, and then statistics. But you have to understand, when the Democrats are in charge, the border is secure. And if it's not, Republicans are keeping us from securing it. This is the world we live in. Wouldn't you rather live forever in a world where there's just no crime? And if there is, the Republicans did it. So just go talk to them, even though we're the ones in charge. But none of that, none of that. If you're still over here, come on over to the YouTube. Here's my 2 cents on the YouTube. I'd love to interact with you over there. Here's another one for you. There is no inflation. When the Democrats are in charge, there is no inflation. It's 0%. We just change how we measure it. If it's the same as it was last month, inflation's now 0%. Yep, fixed it. Don't you just love when Democrats are in charge? There are no problems. They look right at the camera just like I'm doing right now, and they go, there's no problems. There's no problems. It reminds me of that scene from Naked Gun. Is it the original Naked Gun, I think? And there's this huge fire in the background, and the reporter's going, nothing to see. Oh, no, it's not a reporter. It's Liam Neeson. And Liam Nielsen. Is that his name? Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen. All right, we got there. Leslie Nielsen is just saying, there's nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. That's what it's like when Karine Jean-Pierre goes to the podium. That's what it's like when Jen Psaki before that. That's when all liberals in the media get in front of a microphone. And when Joe Biden awakes from a nap, he just gets up there and says, nothing to see here, folks. There's nothing to see here. I want Democrats forever. I'm just going to switch. I'm going to switch. I'm going to vote them in, and we're going to live in utopia. Everything is great. There is no crime. If there is, it's the Republicans blocking it. So just get rid of more of them, and the crime rate will get even better because it's already nothing. So we'll just have anti-negative crime. We'll be in the negative crime zone. The border will get even more secure if you get rid of these Republicans who are trying to keep these Democrats from securing the border. This is the world we live in. I love this world. We just get to say whatever we want. And it just is. Karine Jean-Pierre gets to go to the podium. I think we might have a clip of that here in a moment. And just say, Biden's been to the border. Yep, that's a fact now. That's real. This is something that has happened. This is where we live. I just want Democrats forever. We just can have a secure border, no crime, no inflation. The economy is booming. Everything is fantastic. You have more money in your pocket than you did last year. These are all things that are true. Hello, love seeing you here, Matthew. Thank you for jumping over. If you're over here on the TikToks, please come on over to the YouTube. Here's my 2 cents. I'd love to interact with you. Wouldn't you just love living where there's no crime, your border is secure, and you have more money in your pocket because that's where you're living right now, and it's all due to them Democrats, not the Republicans. They're trying to keep you from getting all that stuff. Oh, and not to mention, don't forget, Democrats are trying to put even more money in your pocket by making you not pay back your debts. Those debts that you took voluntarily, those debts that you chose on your own through a capitalist society. You chose to take on those loans, and you chose a school to go to, and you chose a degree to pursue, and you got your underwater basket weaving degree, and they want to relieve that for you too. Hardworking Americans, because money just shows up out of nowhere. It's not going to come from the blue collar workers who never went to college to pay for their boss's degree or the underwater basket weaving degree of the Starbucks barista. It's not going to come from them. It just comes, it's there. It just is there. Republicans are trying to keep you from getting that too. Did you know that? Just read Twitter. Just go on MSNBC, go on anything. That's what's happening. If I'm looking feisty, man, I didn't know it was going to be like this tonight. Juan, did you know it was going to be like this tonight? I thought I was actually going to be kind of calm. I thought I was going to be kind of tame tonight. Man, I think it was the Red Dawn fiasco at the beginning. I'm going to talk to Lisette. She got me fired up. Do not be coming at me with any remake is better than the original. Don't become, I don't know. If anybody got any remakes that are actually better than the original? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe a sequel type thing, but whew, we got a little hot there tonight. All right. Celia says, I'm starting my own country if they stay in charge. Can I come? Where is it, Celia? Matthew, do you know any young Republicans in San Diego? You know, I don't know if you know this, but San Diego is German. You can look that up. Ron Burgundy taught me that. Do I know of any young Republicans? I don't know any personally, but I do know that for a major metropolitan area in California, it's actually pretty red. It's actually kind of crazy. And the fact that it's right on the border, leave that one up there, Juan. The fact that it's right there on the border kind of says a lot. Kind of says a lot. I'll let you read some in between the lines there. Daniel says, what about the trillions of dollars they're giving to Ukraine to rebuild? I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's a Navy town as well, but I don't know. Juan says San Diego being a Navy town has a lot to do with that. I don't know if that's enough to overcome a whole metropolitan area, not to mention the amount of influx of folks that come in there. So, man, if anybody follows me over on the TikToks at 2cent_KSJ, which Juan is not going to put across the bottom of the screen because he doesn't have it. But over there, you'll notice I don't touch that one. And I'm a little nervous to touch it over here but I'll do it over on Twitter. Hold on, MC. I'll get to here in a second. I'll do it over on Twitter because Elon Musk has made free speech free again. You want to test the waters tonight? Do we want to test the waters? Do we want to dare to be treasonous? Anybody want to be treacherous, treasonous, seditious? Oh, Juan is egging me on. Oh man, we're gonna be treasonous tonight. Is it treasonous to ask where that money went? I'm not saying where it went because I don't know where it went. I don't think anybody knows where it went. I don't think anybody's ever going to tell us. I was watching Lisette before, even though she completely goofed up the movie thing. She had a former Republican candidate for lieutenant governor of the state of Massachusetts, and it's Leah, not Leia. Juan's over here trying to tell me it's like Princess Leia, but it's Leah. So Miss Leah had said that she was running up there and that they were... It was kind of touching on what I wanted to talk about tonight. What she was running because she didn't know what was next, and she wanted to be a part of the solution. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I want to be talking about tonight. What are we doing next? We had the census maps had been redrawn that in our favor, just showing up with a corpse, we should have been able to get 5 more seats. And it looks like that's what we're going to get. We're going to get 5 more seats. We could have ran on anything. And instead, we let the Democrats run on, if the Republicans win, they will take away your right to vote. And we let that message succeed. We did that. We did that. I know they were talking about this beforehand, how the Democrats have a plan for tomorrow, next week, 10 years from now, and they have it all laid out. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What is next? Investigations? That'll feed the soul here for a little bit. If you guys are over here, I'd love to see you over on YouTube. Here's my 2 cents. Here's my 2 cents. I see you guys over here. I can't really interact with you over here. Please come on over to the YouTube. All right, Matthew, you should stream on Rumble also. We are on Rumble, my boy. Go find Right America Media on Rumble. Go find us if that's your preferred platform. Please find us over there. Juan, oh my God, a fine, upstanding American, former veteran. I think you flew, what was it, T1s? T1s you flew, buddy? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you flew T1s. If anybody knows what a T1 is, hey, if you flew a T1, good for you. I'm not saying anything about it. He says he flew something called the T-36 Tweet. Is that correct? Yep, that's what it said. He's trying to say he flew some fighter that had no air-to-air capability. Well, you should hop in here and tell me about all the air-to-air capabilities of your F-117. Oh, it didn't have any. Anyway, I digest. Couple of Air Force guys going at it. Some of us dropped bombs. Some of us flew in circles, but I won't say which is.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
You have to kill me. Yeah, get out of here. Get off my show. Go get your own show, buddy. We might be bringing him back in here in a little bit. So listen, I've already ranted and raved about the idea of Democrats forever. I'm not joking. I'm joking, but this is the world we live in now, folks. They just get to say whatever it is they want. And I'm probably going to get my TikTok taken down for it. But hey, Audrey, I see if you're over here. Come on over to the YouTube. Here's my 2 cents. Interact with me over here. Man, do you feel listless, rudderless, directionless? Nobody's at the helm? I feel that way. I do. We got shellacked in the midterms. We let them run on a campaign of they're going to take your rights away. They're going to take away your right to vote. We let them run on that. That's what we did. I blame us. Who do we blame? Us? Republican leadership? Ronna McDaniel? McCarthy coming in? Who? Us? Mostly us. I mean, we're the ones voting, right? What were we doing to get the message out? What were we doing to run good candidates? What is a good candidate going forward? Have we looked at that? We were talking about Georgia a little while ago. Right off the bat, somebody said we're going to win Georgia. And I said, no. Here's a big thing nobody's talking about. Democrats won't go down there and stump. Republicans won't go down there and stump. Sounds like ripe open ground to go make a name. But instead, everyone's afraid of that candidate being the reason that we lose. Let's be honest. Trump went down there after 2020, made some claims. YouTube, don't take me down. I'm just saying he factually made some claims, and he actually kind of strongly intimated that people not go vote. MC, I blame the rhinos. Republicans in name only. We'll get to that here in a second. I'm going to remember that one. And I see that, MC. Man, I don't think people are taking advantage of what's going on. You look at Georgia, like I said, nobody's going down there to campaign. That kind of seems like open territory to me. Maybe we say, hey, we're going to go down there now. We're going to start planting some seeds. Maybe we don't win this one, but let's plant some seeds for 24. It seems like we should be doing that. It seems like we should be reaching out. It seems like we should be messaging. It seems like we should be talking about what's next. Are we? We're not. What are we even talking about? What are we going to do? Yeah, I know that with the House, we're going to be able to obstruct the spending of the administration, and that's great. It is. We better hold the line on that. Kind of gets to the idea of the rhino. Are there any dinos? Do Democrats have to worry when they send a Democrat to their state capital or DC? Do they ever have to worry about them voting Republican? Ever? Republicans do. We have a whole name for it. We call them rhinos. Democrats never have this problem. No Democrat ever goes, oh man, I can't believe I sent that guy to DC and he's voting with these Republicans. Maybe Manchin. Tops Manchin. But he's from a fully red state. If that man ever wants to win anything, he's going to have to do that kind of stuff. So one, man, we could just go on for days. You could call up any Republican voter right now and say, give me a name of somebody you sent to your capital or to DC that ended up being a rhino. And they'll just label them off for you. You can't do the same with the Democrat. Why is that? Why are we always so worried? Why are we always trying to vote with them? Why are we always trying to get them to like us? Why are we always trying to get the media to like us? Why aren't we working for the people that sent us there? Why aren't we being bold and standing up? Why aren't we talking about the message? Why aren't we going into the fires of the leftist mainstream media? Who cares with the gotcha questions? Shift it back. Be gifted in your speaking abilities. Practice this crap. Sit in front of a camera just like this and be grilled. Do mock interviews. We let them run on, if the Republicans win, they're going to take your right to vote. We let them run on that. Well, guess what? We won the House. We're going to take away their right to vote from there? We're a red state here in Florida. Anybody screaming about we're taking away rights down here? No, because it's not real, but we let them run on it. We let people be convinced of this. What are we doing next? If you guys are still over here on the TikTok, I'd love to see you come on over to YouTube. I'll give you one last shot at it. Here's my 2 cents on the YouTube, or Right to America Media on the Rumble if you guys want. You can give me questions over there. I want to put them up on the screen. I have a lot of questions. What are we doing? What's the plan? What is happening in the Republican Party? What's the plan for these investigations other than sound bites, gotchas, and feeling good for a few minutes? Excuse me. I mentioned earlier about Georgia. Nobody's going to go down there and stump and campaign. Seems like ripe ground to get in there and start recruiting folks. Start getting people signed up. Start talking to people. Start some grassroots. Start getting the word out of what Republicans and conservatives offer at the state, local, and federal levels. What are we doing? Nobody knows. We got some people who wanted to be in charge or in charge. We're going to block some spending. That's good. Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about the idea of not funding any of these executive orders that are coming out of the White House. Are we going to be able to hold up and do that? We're going to roll over and show our bellies. I kind of skirted off of the, we're a little feisty tonight. I'm a little all over the place, but we talked about the Ukraine and how treasonous that was going to be. Are we going to investigate that? Are we going to audit the money? Is it treasonous to ask that? Where'd the money go? Where'd the money go after that? Because I'm understanding that the federal government is sending money to Ukraine. Ukraine is then investing in FTX. FTX is then giving money to Democrat candidates. So I think that we did not fund Democrat candidates with American taxpayer money, right? That's what didn't happen, right? Daniel says the game is rigged from the start. Listen, if you guys have been following me at all, you know that I was really pushing for the last 2 years that we're going to get out, we're going to vote. We have the integrity laws in place. I'm not saying the integrity laws aren't in place. I'm not saying that people didn't get out and vote. What I'm saying is what we have for representation and leadership right now is not inspiring people. Nobody's feeling inspired. Nobody is feeling hope. People are saying things like it's rigged. People are saying, I'm not going to vote again. That is what they're up against, and I don't think they know it. Worse, maybe they do, and they don't care. As long as they each have their individual seats and their $100,000+ a year job and their speaking gigs for even more. Back to Miss Leah, who ran because she saw that folks weren't representing. Maybe that's where we need to be. I think that is exactly where we need to be. We need real Americans to stand up and start running. We need real Americans at grassroots level to go talk to their neighbors and say, I'm going to go run. These are the things I'm running on. I want some transparency. I want to know where the money went. I want to know what it is we're doing at our state, local, federal levels. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you about it. We need real people representing American people. And unfortunately, we get people who are good at talking, giving platitudes, pointing the finger, taking claim for things they didn't do, giving blame for things they did do, and spinning. And people don't feel represented. People feel defeated before they go to the poll. Keeps them from going to the polls. Then you have savvy folks like myself who go, what are we doing? What's the plan? Tell me what the plan is. What are we doing to grow the tent? What are we doing to get the messaging out? What are we doing to get our people in front of the cameras to take the spears, to take the fire, to get the conservative message out? We have fine, upstanding Americans like Juan, oh my God, who flew the F-117, which is a cool plane, who is starting his own media company, putting his time, money, effort into this to help get the word out. We're not huge. We don't have a big reach, but we're reaching folks. And we cover things that others aren't covering. And we talk about the tough topics like I'm talking about right now. I don't think anybody wants to say, what are we doing? What did we learn? What are we going to do going forward? What's the plan? We need to ask the tough questions. We absolutely need to ask tough questions. We need to hold our representation accountable. And you know what? Maybe it's primaries. Maybe it's primaries. I'm not sure that folks are feeling represented. I know folks aren't feeling represented. I know folks are feeling defeated before they get to the polls at all. That's what we're up against. That's what our Republican Party is right now. And then what do we have looming over our heads? We have Trump, who's got legal woes. I just read right before I came on the air that the third party who was going to review the documents that were taken from Mar-a-Lago, that's been stopped. So DOJ gets to keep going forward with whatever it is the DOJ was going to do. So we have that. We have, other than Trump, we have people waiting in the wings, waiting to get their name out there. Are they going to be able to inspire folks to come back out? Are they going to ask the tough questions that we're asking tonight? Are they going to be able to take the barrage from Trump? What's going to happen with Trump? That's where the Republican Party is right now. We got the House by the skin of our teeth. We don't have a unified front. I think we're going to have several people, whether they're rhinos or not, are going to peel off, giving majority back to the Democrats from time to time in the House and getting more liberal policies, tax and spend, and invasive laws put on the books. We're not going to have a problem of more Democrats peeling off and coming over to the Republicans. That ain't going to happen. And meanwhile, people are going to become more and more disenfranchised. And then we'll be looking at 24 going, man, what happened there? How did Pete Buttigieg become the president? We had Trump. We had DeSantis. How did Pete Buttigieg become the president? That's what we're going to be doing if we don't ask these questions. That's where we're going to be. I'm sorry I don't have a more positive, upbeat message for tonight. We have questions. The questions need to be asked. We're going to continue to explore that. We're going to continue to go forward. If you stuck around me for this, I really appreciate it. Would have loved to have seen you over on the YouTube, but that's okay. You guys were here tonight. I appreciate you guys that are here as well. Normally, we put the banner across the bottom. I'm going to keep busting his chops until he does it. You can find me on TikTok at 2cent_KSJ. On the Twitter, 2centKSJ. We're having a lot of fun now that freedom has returned there. And with that, I'm going to get us off the air exactly on time tonight. Juan, thank you very much. And for all of you at home, have a good night.
We have a video that you have to show.
Do you want to do it?
Yes.
I did the outro. All right. My man says we got to see one more video. You guys can't see it if you're over here on the TikTok, but on the YouTube, take a look. Show me the video, Juan. Let's go.
When are you guys going to delete the White House Twitter account?
Why would we do that?
Well, you're saying that you're keeping an eye on Twitter because it might not be a suitable platform, so why use it?
Look, I want to be very clear here. The president has... Thanks, everybody.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad. What they're actually talking about there, minus the joke, is actually pretty gross. Talking about monitoring what people are saying. Anybody can say whatever they want. You can have Liz Warren in the bowels of the Capitol building saying that one man shouldn't be able to decide what people can and can't say. That's the point, Liz. He's not saying who can and can say, like you and your side has been doing. When you want to have misinformation czars, disinformation czar, tell people what is right and what is wrong, more projecting. And he gets to go in a dark room by himself. I love to hate when you hear Democrats and other politicians say the dumbest things, like he gets to go in a dark room. It's a dark room. There's no lights in that room. It's a dark room. And now he's nefarious and he's a bad guy. I just love stuff like that. The idea of monitoring speech at all, how dumb, terrible, idiotic it is the dumbest thing I could possibly think of. Say the dumbest thing you could think of. Please, everybody say the dumbest thing you could think of. I'm going to say all my dumb stuff. You say all your dumb stuff, and then we'll let people decide what it is and it is not that they're willing to believe and go forward with. They could do their own research. We are our own human beings. And Liz Warren doesn't like the idea of one person getting to decide this, but she didn't have a hard time when it was Jack Dorsey and his blue-haired sociology majors who were deciding what was misinformation and what was disinformation. She doesn't have a problem with Jeff Bezos just deciding what he's going to run, what he's not going to run. He's going to suppress an entire story of a certain presidential candidate's son. You have Zuckerberg, who is pumping in money into all kinds of elections. We don't have a problem with that, but we have a problem when somebody's going to allow people to say whatever it is that they want. And then the White House says they're going to monitor. That made me throw up in my mouth. But hey, I appreciate you doing that for me, Juan, before we walk out the door. With that, I'm going to get you a little bit closer back to on time. I appreciate everybody being here for tonight. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
Welcome to KSOC Uncensored. Tonight's guest is Senator Ted Harvey out of Colorado. Ted is a chairman of the committee to defeat the president. Also, stopjoe.com. That one's easy to remember. Come on in, Ted.